Ladies and gentlemen, this story involves a total of 6 people. And I thought I read it wrong, especially when they were showing the people that were involved. And I thought they were saying that it was just 1 or 2 people that were responsible. And I thought that some of these other pictures were not tied to this story. No, I was wrong. All 6 of these people are tied to the death of 1 child. I wanted to make that very clear. I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities, and the story contains details that might upset you. So if you need to exit, I totally understand, but here are the details. It comes out of Evansville, Indiana. It just seemed like a lot of drugs, a whole lot of drugs are in Indiana. Clearly, you could tell by the look on these people's faces. And look at that house. Let me not even give y'all no details. I'm going to just show you the house, if that's okay. See if I can pull this up. I know some of y'all are going to get mad at me for doing this and crapping on this home. No, the home crapped on itself. I want y'all to look at this hillbilly home. Even the homes next to it look like crap. God, dog. I know some of y'all are not going to be happy with my assessment, but screw that. I told you, if you guys want to live in squalor and be poor, fine. If you want to do that by yourself, fine. But what I have a problem with is when you drag children into this. That's where my problem is. If you want to live poor, and if you're poor, don't have kids. I think that's pretty simple, and I think that's fair. Like, I don't know how you're going to not have kids, but you shouldn't have kids in your possession if you live in that shanty. That's not even a house. That looks like, I don't know what that looks like. What does that look like? That looks like something you took out of the trash and just set it in between a couple of other trashy houses. I've seen bandos that look better. I've seen trap houses that look better than this. I've seen Great Depression homes that look better than this. I've seen houses that came out of tornadoes that look better than this. All I can think of is boom, 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 boom. Let me stop. Y'all blame Jimmy D. This is Jimmy D's fault. Let me stop. How do we get to this point? These parents on my screen. New information has been released in the investigation into the death of a 3-year-old in Evansville, including, police say, the discovery of more than 5,000 fentanyl pills. 5,000 fentanyl pills. Y'all know those pills that are killing people? And I don't know, even a police officer almost died on body camera recently from coming into contact with fentanyl. A baby had to be revived with Narcan because of fentanyl. I had 2 people that I knew, one of them was my friend, that died late last year because of fentanyl. Her and a guy that I guess she was friends with or dealing with ended up dying in a home and were not found for days, sitting in that house decomposing from coming into contact with fentanyl. It's a serious thing, and it's a very deadly thing. Very, very powerful. This tragedy needs to serve as a wake-up call to this entire community. When you have children overdosing on fentanyl, and I'm getting this from 14news.com. Thank you for the article. When you have children ODing on fentanyl, and when you have all of these overdose deaths, we're all put on notice. And I agree. We all have a responsibility This is completely unacceptable and we need help. So what can society do? What can you do to help us? According to Vanderburgh County Prosecutor Nick Hernandez said. On Thursday, the coroner identified this little girl. She was 3 years old. Let me see if I can get this precious baby on my screen. Skip the idiots. Skip the nasty house. Let me show y'all this angel. Look at this baby. She deserves a much bigger picture on the screen. I'm going to cover everything else up on my screen besides this baby's picture, because I just want people to understand the magnitude of how serious this is. This is incredibly sad, incredibly irresponsible as well. On Thursday, the coroner identified her as 3-year-old Kamari Opperman. Kamari, that was her name. Police say that 6 people have been arrested in connection to this case. Evansville Police and Vanderburgh County Prosecutor's Office gave a news conference on Thursday afternoon. Police were called to a home, if you can even call that place a home, on East Michigan Street Wednesday morning. According to the 911 call obtained by the news, dispatchers were told the 3-year-old child got a hold of a fentanyl pill Tuesday and was not taken to the hospital. Not taken to the hospital. That is a beautiful, precious angel. This is horrible. During the news conference, officials said that one of the children also had a fractured skull. So somebody was beating the children as well. The affidavit shows there were at least 3 other children involved, and 2 of them had to be given Narcan. So one of them apparently died. It shows that 20-year-old McKaylee Opperman, which is, let me see if I can get her face. This crackhead, this hillbilly, this alleged mother on my screen, that is 20-year-old McKaylee Opperman, the 3-year-old's mother. Why is she 20 years old? Why does she look like she's 50? Why does she even have children? 20 years old is too young to have kids. You're too young and too stupid. She is accused of neglect of a dependent causing death, along with another drug and neglect charges. Amber and Brendan Opperman, which is, let me see if I can find their pictures. I got too many pictures. It's too many people. So Brandon on the right-hand side of the screen, God, he looks drove. And Amber, who's in the middle, so apparently their siblings, are also booked into jail on neglect of a dependent causing death charges. Let me skip this portion because we all know what fentanyl can do. So let's skip that. The police affidavit also shows Jasmine Brown, let's back it up like a U-Haul truck, on the left-hand side. Jasmine Brown and Allison Smidler lived with McKaylee. Those 2 are booked under neglect and drug charges. Arsenio, A-R-C-I-N-I-A-L. Arsenio, not Arsenio, Arsenio. Arsenio Watt is facing drug charges in the case. The affidavit shows more than 5,000 fentanyl pills were found at his home. The news was on the scene Wednesday and spoke with the neighbor about the situation. The neighbor said, "I didn't hear anything this morning. I just seen flashing lights and there were a bunch of police officers out here. And when I came out to hear the fire truck was taking off," the neighbor Mavis said, "I was shocked." But let me show you guys the couple of news videos that were out there. Now, how was this neighbor shocked? I find that really hard to believe when you look at the condition of that house and realize that there were human beings and children living in that house. And it was 6 people plus, what, 3 children? 9 people living in that shanty. And you were shocked. You were shocked. I'm sure you were, sir. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If y'all are watching this, you can help by hitting that thumbs up to share this story, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
Bond has been raised for an Evansville woman charged in the death of her 3-year-old daughter. 20-year-old McKaylee Opperman was in court this afternoon where bond was set at $50,000 cash. Opperman is facing numerous charges, including murder, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, and dealing in a controlled substance while causing a death. Police say Kamari Opperman got a hold of some fentanyl pills that caused her death. Police say McKaylee knew she had come into contact with them but didn't take her to the hospital. Several others are also facing charges in the case. Opperman is due back in court next month.
We begin tonight as more information is coming out about a toddler who died yesterday after swallowing fentanyl at a home in Evansville.
At a news conference this afternoon, officials announced several other children also needed treatment after being exposed to that drug. In all, half a dozen people, including the parents, faced charges of neglect. How did it happen? And how is law enforcement responding? Eyewitness News' Ryan Wittry has the latest.
This is a tragedy, and we need to call it what it is. This community is in crisis.
Stark words from Vanderburgh County prosecutor Nick Herman after 6 people were arrested in connection to a toddler's fatal fentanyl overdose on East Michigan Street Wednesday.
This isn't a game. Fentanyl will kill anyone. Small doses will kill anyone.
While one child is dead, Herman says the tragedy was very nearly worse after 2 other kids needed to take Narcan and another received treatment for a fractured skull.
The protocol hadn't been broken yesterday, and those children taken directly to medical facility. I don't think we'd be up here talking about one dead child. I think we'd be talking about multiple. And those officers need to be commended for that. But that's how serious this is.
Evansville Police Sergeant Anna Gray says people need to take the drug problem and the growth of fentanyl seriously.
I think it's easy for people to kind of turn a blind eye when we're talking about adults who use narcotics and overdose. I think people can kind of separate themselves from that, but we are talking about a child who had no idea what this could do. The fact that adults brought that into a home where there were children, this needs to be a wake-up call.
In the area around East Sycamore Street where police believe the children came in contact with some of the over 5,000 fentanyl pills around the house, neighbors say it's hard to believe, and their hearts go out to the families.
I feel sorry for them. I think they're probably, they'll get through it and everything, but it's so sad to have to deal with that right now.
You feel sorry for who, sir? It didn't sound like he said he feels sorry for. I know I shouldn't be getting on to him, but it don't sound like he's having sympathy for the kid. It sounds like he's having sympathy for everybody involved. I don't like that. Specify, please. You should only have sympathy for the children. The children were the only ones innocent in this story.
Get through it and everything, but it's so sad to have to deal with that right now. The families and stuff, and it goes on way too much. But hopefully, God will look out for him.
Bill Cassidy says he's never seen anything of this magnitude in his neighborhood in almost 30 years. Ryan Wittry, Eyewitness News.
You know what? I'm going to tell you guys, and I'm going to be real brutally honest. I find it highly unlikely, damn near improbable, that you could live in this neighborhood, see this house, if you could even call it that, live in this area on this street, live in this city, be anywhere near any of this. I find it really, really, really hard to believe that you can know that people live in what they call this a house, and you didn't know something was wrong. They don't even have room to park a car. I didn't even notice that. There's not room on either side in the, if you can call that a front yard, that patch of dilapidated grass, I guess. Where would you park a car at? They don't even have a car. But you got access to 5,000 fentanyl pills? Where they do that at, man? You got 5,000 fentanyl pills, but you live in that. You got 5,000 fentanyl pills, and you got a patch of grass that you would, I guess some people might consider a yard was supposed to go there. 5,000 fentanyl pills and don't have a driveway. 5,000 fentanyl pills, but yet you got 9 people living under one roof, and 6 of them people are grown. I don't understand how you could put 6 heads together. Let's just take the fentanyl pills out of the equation. You mean to tell me all 6 of those people didn't have a job? Huh? Why is that place even still standing? Why would they leave places, constructions like this that are still standing? They all need to be torn down, crushed, burned, destroyed, wiped off the... That whole block probably looks like that. You could tell the house next to it on the left and the right looked like crap too. I'm really struggling with this. See, it went off. Should be let me see. Okay, you can't connect. Let's connect to this. No, you can connect to that. All right, are we back? Are we back? I know it cut off. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Here's something that I was thinking about. What I was thinking about was, I said, is 6 adults involved in this story. And I was like, so none of them worked a job? 0 out of 6 worked a job? And I wonder something. And I said, what if all 6 of them worked a job? What could they have done if they would have put their money together, if they would have worked a reputable job as 6 grown individuals? There can't be an excuse to live in this type of bullcrap, let alone work one person, let alone 6 people, let alone parents trying to have children in that house. But I don't think they had children in this alleged house to raise these children so they can grow up and become something great. Here's what I believe. I believe that these people are lazy. I believe that these people didn't want to do any better. Not a single one of them wanted to do better because they all knew that this was going on. They were all involved. And what I personally believe is that they were using the children to collect the benefits off of those children. And what do we call that? Hashtag babies for benefits. They were only using these children to collect benefits off of these children. And I think it's especially disgusting that the mother put her children up for sale like this. as a beautiful little girl. And I'm sure that those other children are probably awesome as well. I hope that they survive. They need to be in a home where they can thrive. But I'm going to tell you guys, beautiful little baby, 3 years old. If you would have told me this was going to happen, or Jay, you could take custody of her, I would have gladly reached out, send the baby to me. I'll raise her. She didn't deserve this. I would have gladly have reached out to be a father to this little girl. She did not stand a chance around 6 grown idiots. I think that all of them should get life in prison. All 6 of them should be charged equally for allowing this to happen, know that it happened, participated in it happening, and they don't need to be in our society ever again. They should never be given another chance to ruin another child's life. They will never learn, and I believe that they cannot be rehabilitated. To this little princess, young princess, R.I.P. She's 3 years old, and I know people want me to give her name. I'm going to put some respect on her name. Let me give you guys her name again. Her name is 3-year-old Kamari Opperman. So Kamari Opperman, young princess, R.I.P. And I thank you guys for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart. And I thank you. We had a little bit of a technical issue, but we'll work it out. But thank you guys for listening to this story. We got more to bring you, so make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll give you an update whenever we get a final sentencing on that baby story. Let's get her justice, okay? Thank you.